So what were your creative influences then, growing up, Moj?
We're laughing because we're having this conversation as brother and sister that we've never had.
We haven't, have we?
We've never done that.
Yeah.
So
who does that around the dinner table?
Who does that? Whatever, Sunday lunch. Creative influences growing up, yeah. I'm really curious to know if there are intersections between our creative influences. Obviously having the same parents, the same homes.
Yeah.
So I'm immediately going to go to our dad's record collection.
I was thinking exactly the same thing, yeah, totally.
Yeah, which was awesome.
Yeah,
incredible.
And you probably like had the vinyl early on. And one of my first memories was finding a tape that I think he might have made like a compilation tape, and just finding it and listening to it on a Walkman.
Yeah.
And being like, wow, what is this music? You know, a lot of Bob Marley, a lot of James Brown.
Yeah.
And just really vibing off it. And actually, I think I remember the first time I heard that tape on the 37 bus. And I was sitting on one side of the bus, and you were sitting on the other with Mum. And I had the headphones on and going like, wow, this music's amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really, definitely the vinyl, and it's amazing to think that vinyl went through different sort of stages.
Yeah. I've got it at home now.
Yeah, you've got the vinyl. You've got the vinyl collection.
Yeah.
And there was also something about that. I was always fascinated by the covers. And like our dad bringing home a record at the end of the week sometimes, and really kind of proudly walking in. I remember him bringing a James Brown album in and Otis Redding album in, and I would always be fascinated with the cover. I always want to see the pictures and the words, and definitely the Bob Marley albums. Like I didn't know what slavery was until I looked at the Bob Marley cover and the lyrics and trying to understand the politics and the stories. So I think there's something about the story and the music through those albums.
They're so iconic. All of those albums, and Bob Marley, the covers.
Yeah.
It's largely why I still love buying vinyl. Do you know what I mean? It's good for the pictures and the artwork.
Yeah.
I read a really great tip where it was like, if you don't know the artist or you don't know the album, but you love the artwork, there's a good chance you're going to like the track.
That works for Sun Ra as well.
Yeah, totally.
All of that.
And one of the albums that comes to mind is The Harder They Come, Jimmy Cliff.
Yeah.
And he's in the front cover, it's like really colourful.
There were statements, weren't there? I think there's something about that concept album for the stage that Stars is that I never thought about it before, but maybe that's why, like Candice's animation kind of has to be there. That it's sort of like it's not just the music, but it's the words and the pictures and all of that together. How that speaks.
Visually, it offers a lot. It is so beautiful animation. And in individual creative influences. Yeah, like people. Because I often, our cousin as well, I think of Dom.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say.
Yeah, just like running around and publishing houses, writing, being music editor, and thinking, oh my God, like that looks really cool.
Yeah, completely. I was going to say earlier when we were talking about music that we had when we had the old gramophone before the really nice hi-fi. But we had a gramophone. It wasn't.
That's before my time. Before my time.
But the gramophone, and cousin Dalton would come around and bring some music. And he first taught me. What was the first moves he taught me? He taught me to dance to rock and roll. Like he taught me how to jive. And I was little, and he'd come around and he said, "Play this," you know, something that he was interested in, and he taught me how to jive. And then I remember another time he came round and he was into punk. Yeah. And he taught me to pogo, and he was like, had played all this music in Sweden and been in a punk band. He was teaching me what to pogo is. And I remember another time he came around and he taught me how to skank, because he got into his reggae, and that's how I learned to skank. And absolutely, Dotton's influence in music, and also his just that starting his own publishing house with Steve Pope, and just the kind of, you can't wait for the man to call you, make it happen. Tell the stories that don't get told. And he's still doing it.
I still remember he bought me 2 cassette tapes again. De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising, and Boogie Down Productions, My Philosophy, KRS-One. And as a little kid, I'm like rapping, you know, fresh from '88, you sucker. You know, that stuff is just ingrained in me. And it's like he introduced me literally to like actually credible hip hop that still stands the test of time now.
That's great. Yeah, so that's so cute. Our cousin.
And how did we come about with Stars then? Where did our collaboration come about?
We'd done the other pieces, worked on Muhammad Ali and me, and went to the Antarctic and that, stand corrected. So the idea of collaborating wasn't new for us, but then almost a club night idea.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. So actually, I remember we were in Dublin, and there was this amazing theatre, and you said, "Oh yeah, they do club nights in there." I think we tried to get in, or the weekend I was visiting, but we couldn't. And that really stuck with me for a long time, going, oh yeah, these spaces you could do, they would be amazing for raves. And you know, and I love rave, I've always loved raving and clubbing. And I think that always stuck with me. So I thought, and then I always had that churning over going, could we do a club in a theatre? But actually, on club spaces and raves, there's always so much drama in there. Stuff happens, and it just, you know, sometimes it feels like there's a play unfolding in front of you unintentionally. And sometimes some really great clubs and raves kind of do that. There's performances in there, there's dancers, and you know, they curate the night that way. And so I really wanted to maybe try and do something like that. And I think we spoke about it.
We spoke about it and did a couple of nights and tested out the idea.
So we did Ade Dance. We did a couple of those at the Yard in Hackney. And that was mainly club nights with pop-up performances. You doing some bits. Actually, Vivian Ray. Amma's sister came and grabbed the mic and
singer.
Which was, so that was, I think, when we started to go, okay, this could work. And I don't know if you'd actually seen me DJ like in a club space that many times before.
No, I think that was the first time I saw you DJ. I think that was the first time I saw you DJ.
There's a couple of house parties, but
but it's the first time in a club. Yeah. I didn't realise you were good.
I know, that's basically what you said. You were like, oh yeah, you were all right. I was like, God,
yeah. But what about books then? Stories, influences?
Stories and influences, I mean, yes. One of my first memories of like having a story read to me is actually from you. Reading, I think it was the A-Team book or something. At night.
It should have been James Baldwin or something.
No, it wasn't, no. It did have B.A. Baracus in it, you know. He was like my hero. So funnily enough, and like storytelling and enjoying stories, and you were probably half performing them while reading them, you know, as Big Sister. That's really etched in. So thank you.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. I didn't know that. I'm very touched. I did. Tears in my eyes. That I didn't know that. Yeah, I was. I think the color illustrated Bible. I think that was the first. That was the first book that kind of really got my imagination going, because I was also terrified of it. Like picture of like the wife of Lot turned turn to salt and you look back. And I remember always saying, "Oh, don't look back! Don't look back on your sinful life."
They always put that picture.
I know, yeah, it's really terrifying.
Biblical comic books.
Yeah. Like, so it's kind of all the drama of the Bible has always stayed with me, and it's kind of in the works still.
So many stories in there, anyway.
Yeah. Yes.
So here we are then.
Here we are. How's it going for you? How is it collaborating with your sister?
Oh, I love it. No, it's been great. It's been great. I mean, it's been churning for so long now, hasn't it? You know, 2000 and whatever it was. And remember, Oval House. We got together and we were just in the room playing around. You bought some of the, was it Sylvanian family? Not Sylvanian. It was the little misses in the fridge, and
went to a toy shop and bought little model misses and kitchen and fridge.
Yeah, and a cooker that looked like decks. Yeah, and just playing with music, and it's always been really rich and really collaborative and really open, and I think we have a shorthand, I think, as well. You know, sometimes we can just look at each other and go and just move on, and so that's always been great. And obviously for Muhammad Ali and me and I Stand Corrected, Mojo the Antarctic, you brought me in operating sound badly, and Mojo the Antarctic.
That's great.
Fuck you. It's great.
It's great. It's great, and it's mostly great, I think, because we're friends. You know, we're really good friends, and I think that if you can have family that is a friend as well as a collaborator, what more could you want? You know, and I will say this as well, and that it feels like that with the whole team. And I'm not, you know, that we got our people. That, you know, that some of us are blood related, but all of us are related in this team. We might be just new to each other, but we're very related to each other in the things that we believe in, the kind of work that we want to make, the politics,
the values are there.
The values of making sure that we want to bring all of the people, no matter what their background experience, we want all of the people to come. So it feels like family.
Yeah, feels good.
It's
a good one.
So thanks.
Thank you.